Ladies and gentle weebs, my fellow flames of Amethyst, welcome back to another video. My name is the Amethyst Abrams, and today we're going to be reacting to Sentontas's video of the worst gacha community in gaming, or the worst community in gacha gaming. So if you enjoy this reaction, I'm sure this is going to be very controversial and very entertaining, and I can't wait to give my opinions and thoughts on it. So without further ado, hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this video, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. And yeah, let's get into this.
So there is one subreddit in particular, and they have a very, very big problem with Wuthering Waves.
Why?
If you are familiar with this subreddit at all, and if you've done, any sort of
I've heard of r/gacha gaming. I don't know too much about them, but I've heard of r/gacha gaming. I've heard a few people, a few big dog streamers mention them before. So the fact that Sentontas has mentioned them again, I'm interested in seeing what they've done wrong or what they've done this time.
browsing or even just keeping up with general gacha news over the past 6 months. And
Okay.
even longer than 6 months, right? It could go to 7, 8, 9, 10, basically leading up to the release of Wuthering Waves, and then every month.
What was that? Wait, what was that? What was that saying? It doesn't matter.
Leading up.
Oh, okay. If you really want to make a good call on Wuthering Waves, wait for the first revenue reports to start coming out. Well, I don't think that's a good idea. You know why? Because the revenue report is dead. Sentontas killed revenue. Sentontas himself killed gacha revenue. I'll be doing a second video about that. But yeah, Sentontas is the revenue slayer. But yeah.
To the release of Wuthering Waves, and then every month after it, this subreddit has basically served as an anti-Kuro, pro-Hoyo, whatever.
Oh.
They have had it out for Wuthering Waves since
Really?
before the game has even launched. And
Why?
what you'll notice is that the mods on this subreddit, they will constantly leave up posts that are either extremely misinformative, extremely biased,
Right.
or have just an intensely negative spin towards Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves.
But why
and they'll
though?
just keep those posts up. They'll never actively correct information. The most that they'll do is create like a really small sticky post, but then just leave a bunch of garbage up that basically frames this game, this company.
So basically, if someone uploads something that is completely invalid and incorrect about Wuthering Waves or Kuro Games as a whole, this that basically tarnishes the game and the company. r/gacha gaming, which is meant to be an informative place to get gacha information about all things gacha. And I'm guessing they're pushing themselves to be the most accurate source, or one of the most accurate sources, and try to put as much information out there as possible for you guys and us to look at. But what Sentontas is saying is basically there are dogshit posts of people clowning on Kuro, clowning on Wuthering Waves, and basically just shit talking the game, or just misinformation about the game. And then this r/gacha gaming doesn't take it down or do anything about it. Instead, they actually just put an extra thread at the bottom saying a little bit of extra information to put into a little bit more context, or they just leave it up and they don't take it down, which is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's not the best look for them. But I don't really look at r/gacha gaming, but clearly they're a pretty big deal on in the gacha side of Reddit. So it's a shame to see.
The most negative light that they can. And most of the time, you're going to have players that don't actually play WoWa, that haven't been keeping up with the game, but they will always come back to this subreddit to make a negative post about it, to create speculation, to basically...
WoW players are definitely living the real life 50-50 now. Either absolutely nothing happens and life goes on, or like some of the aforementioned games, they get hit with heavy monetization, drastic changes. Godspeed gamers, I hope you win that 50-50. Okay.
Insinuate that something is going on at Kuro behind the scenes, and
Right.
this is just the latest example. I know there have been a couple more examples, specifically with like the free Zhongli Yao versus the free Dr. ratio.
You know they got salty about that. You know they got salty about that. You know the Hoyo stands, not the Hoyo fans. Bearing in mind, guys, there are Hoyoverse fans who are respectable people that can look at both sides of the situation. They love Genshin, they love HSI, love ZZ, but they also have respect and they kind of like Wuthering Waves, PGR, and other gacha games. But then you've got the Hoyoverse toxic stands, which basically just shit on everything that isn't Hoyo because they get jealous or they just get pissed off because another game's doing just as good, if not better, than theirs. Those are the people that probably shit talk Wuthering Waves and Kuro Games in this subreddit.
There was some very, very unfair treatment there, and that's just like some of the stuff that's been
But
going into this.
why?
So let's dive into
Kuro are known to give away free units. Kuro have been known to give away free units not only in PGR, but now in Wuthering Waves. So it's not an uncommon thing to happen. So it is what it is. Get over it. Stop crying, bitch.
to this specific example first,
Okay.
because obviously this was released 9 hours ago. It's pretty like up to date, and it's been wuthering some waves all over social media, all over Twitter, a lot of rumors. And
It's the
we're gonna take
Tencent
time to
thing.
break down what this actually means, what Tencent actually does in relation to these companies, and some prior examples just from the
This is how we made our workflow better than ever. With
Workflow better than ever.
It gave our team
Get the fuck off my
we've already
screen.
seen before, and why there's a lot of stuff being overblown and a lot of basically just like nonsensical rumors being spread. So first things first, this was like the breaking news post. There are a couple of follow-ups and a lot of clarification following it. And in this post, basically 2 hours ago, the list of shareholders of Kuro Games changed. Tencent now controls 51% of the shares of Kuro Games, and that means that Kuro Games, technically, right, is a subsidiary company, because Kuro Games owns 49%, according to this, and now Tencent owns 51%. What you're going to notice is that Tencent and Kuro Games are the only companies mentioned in this post.
Right.
That's going to be something really important to keep in mind.
Okay,
There is
okay.
no mention of any other company other than Tencent and Kuro Games.
Right.
When you're just reading this, right, it makes it seem like Tencent wrested control away from Kuro. Like
Right.
Tencent did something and Kuro lost something.
Right.
It's just extremely clear from the first two sentences of this breaking news. That's just the first.
Well, no, it's not really when they're just a majority shareholder. It doesn't mean Kuro lost anything. And didn't they have like a preview? Didn't they just buy the Kuro Games original parent company or something like that, like Hero or whatever it's called? Didn't they just buy the remaining shares that they had? So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, so what if Kuro doesn't own the majority of their own company? Tencent does. But I've heard Tencent isn't a bad company, and they just basically fund these other companies, or they fund their share owned companies to help promote, produce, and make the game better. So what's the deal here? I don't know what the problem is here. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal, I guess, in a business standpoint. It's great for Tencent. They have 51% of the shares. But by the sounds of it, it's also good for Kuro because it means they're going to get more funding and more support from a better company, from what I've heard. But I don't know.
First two sentences. The second one is, people are speculating that Kuro Games has lost the previous bet-on agreement with Tencent, and thus, according to the agreement, Kuro Games has become a subsidiary company of Tencent Games.
This tells me that the term people are speculating this isn't fact. This isn't factual information. This is just people speculating. It's theories, it's guesses, but they're making it sound like it's fact. Okay.
Again, breaking news.
It's not breaking news though, is it then? It's not breaking news. Yeah, like Tencent owns 51% of the shares of Kuro Games now. That's the news. That's the news. That is the news. There is no other news. This is a guess. This is a theory. It's a speculation. It never happened. It's a fabrication. This one was made up. It never happened. It never happened. Okay? This one was completely fabricated. It never happened.
Breaking news. This is basically supposed to be seen as true information. Breaking news, right? People are
Yeah, the first part
speculating
is
they lost an agreement. Basically, Kuro Games did not perform up to the financial standards, right? They
I
didn't have the
don't
financial
believe that's the case
performance,
at all.
You know, that they had some legally binding agreement, right? Like the golden handcuffs or something like that. Right?
Yeah, no, I don't think
That
so.
If Kuro Games doesn't produce, doesn't succeed, doesn't meet Tencent's expectations, Big Daddy Tencent is going to come in and wrest control of the company away. Kuro Games, you don't know what you're doing anymore. Tencent is here to fix everything because you guys have made some mistakes. That is
You're
the
fucked.
second-
I'm taking control of this company. What? No, you can't do this to me. I started this company. You're basically saying that Kuro is Norman Osborn in this situation, and Tencent is Oscorp Industries.
Of this post. And again, it's saying breaking news. And now it's like the screenshot below shows that multiple Tencent supervisors have joined the board, replacing the previous supervisors from another investment company. Do you see how they just sneak in that there was actually a third company in here?
Yeah, it's Hero. Hero. What it was Hero? Was it Hero? Something. There was a third company. One of my chat told me that originally Tencent owned, I think, 20% or something like that, and Hero owned the rest of that first 50%, and Kuro owned, you know, the other 50 or the other 49%. But I don't. It's
They put it in the last sentence. Just look at the wording of this. It's like, first, they make it seem like Tencent wrested away control, that like Kuro did something bad and now Tencent's in charge. But oh wait, there was a third company. And they don't list what the third company is. They sneak it into the last sentence and they make it sound like they weren't even like involved in the first place. So this is the kind of just incredible post that you see on r/gacha gaming. And do you want to know the best part about all of this? The entire post is in English, right? All of this is in English. They link a video in Chinese, and then the entire screenshot is in Chinese. This is all you can actually read. You don't even know what this means. And they don't post a translation. It's just in the post with 732 upvotes, and it's like the first item on the front page. This is what the mods on r/gacha gaming keep up. A post where the entire evidence is not translated, it's in Chinese on a primarily English-speaking subreddit.
Right.
How is this something that is on the front?
It's not exactly. If they don't have exact translations, it is misinformation, because for all we know, this file, these screenshots we're seeing are completely different to what they're saying, and we're meant to take what r/gacha gaming is saying to, you know, factual information, when actually, just from that second statement, people are speculating. It means that people are guessing. It's not factual information. And the last part, where it's like supervisors from another investing company, one, they're not naming that company. Two, I don't think they've got all the facts about that company. And three, again, it just sounds like r/gacha gaming. It sounds like they're just they've got half the information. They basically, it's like when you look at something, and you look at half the title of something, you assume you know what it is, and then you go, wait. It's like you look at a burger. Oh, I want that big. Anyway, and then you get it, and it's like, I didn't want pickles in my burger. Well, if you look at the menu, it says there's pickles in the burger. I didn't read that. I just read the first half. Well, if you read the first half, you wouldn't have known what the second half is, and if you'd read the whole thing, you would have found out that there are pickles in your burger. You know, so it's like, it's the same sort of thing. It's like they've sort of gone. Tencent now owns 51%. Oh my god, they've basically taken control of Kuro. Guys, ring the bell, guys. That's essentially what it sounds like from Sentontas's video. It sounds like that's what r/gacha gaming is doing. And also, I did cut off. I cut off Sentontas. That's why I moved my camera over.
It's not locked. What is going on here? It's absolutely crazy, right? It's truly toxic behavior. I'm saying that. And we're going in here. This is the only thing we're putting. We're putting a Billy video, and that's, you know, obviously in Chinese, right? And then the mods are just like, hey, this is great. This is valid, right? It's talking shit about Wuwa. So who really cares, right? What the supporting information is. Like, this is just, if you don't understand Chinese, what's the point of putting this in here on an English-speaking subreddit, right? The fact that a third company is not mentioned, they just word it like Tencent is like wresting away control. It's absolutely crazy. The fact that the third company isn't mentioned until the last sentence of this post, that's crazy. They are like intentionally wording this in a way that just makes it look like Wuwa's an absolute failure. And
it doesn't make it sound like it's now. Hold on now, Mr. Sentontas. It doesn't make Kuro seem like it's an absolute failure. No. Now, does it make Kuro sound like they're not in complete control of their company? Yes, it does make it look like Kuro doesn't really have control completely of the company, but it's because technically they don't own the full extent of the. If Kuro Games owns 49% of Kuro Games, they own just under half, and Tencent own 51%, which is just over half. Now, does that mean that Kuro Games as a whole is like losing control and just out of, you know, they're finished. They're a terrible company that don't know what the hell they're doing. They're losing their company. No, it doesn't. This happens a lot in the business industry. Sometimes you need investing companies to take hold of a certain profit or a certain percent of your shares in your company, and sometimes it's for the better, and maybe it's for the better of Kuro Games. I don't think it's a loss at all. I don't think it's a loss. I think it's just a business. It's just a business deal. It's business. It might be, for all we know, this might mean that we're going to see higher budget updates in the future of Wuthering Waves because Kuro now has a bigger funding potentially from a better and bigger company. That's just my opinion. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
That somebody else has to come in and then take control.
But it doesn't look like r/gacha gaming is trying to undermine and bring Kuro off a pedestal and bring it down and lower, and it does kind of make it feel like that Kuro doesn't have full control of their company, when technically based on shares that's true, but we don't know everything. We don't know what the deals that were made behind closed doors, so we can't really comment realistically about the situation. And I think r/gacha gaming need to get the entire facts of what's going on before they make a post. That's my opinion anyway. That's what I think.
To fix it, instead of taking down the post and actually preventing garbage like this from being seen and like people further speculating off of just terribly worded stuff.
I love
right?
coffee.
The mods just say, oh yeah, here's the additional information. We're now going to mention the third company that
there it is, Hero Games.
37% stake that Tencent bought. Tencent bought a 37% stake. Guys, if they bought 37%, that means they had 14% before. Tencent is one of the biggest investment companies. What this means is that they viewed Wuwa or Kuro Games valuable enough.
Join Whoop for only $1.99.
Yeah. Exactly what Sentontas is about to say is completely true. This is exactly what I just said. It's not a bad thing that Tencent now owns 51%. Even though factually it means Kuro doesn't own the entirety of their company or the majority, they're not the majority shareholder. But what Tencent did was they've gone, no. Kuro Games, they're making a bit of dough. They're making a bit of dosh over there. Look at these reports of the revenue. Oh my God, they're making more money than we thought. We've got to buy Hero out. We've got to buy the remaining 37%. We've got to buy them out. That's, or whatever the percentage was. That's what it means. It's more of a positive investment than a we're taking the company. That's more,
7%. This is one of the biggest investment companies in
it's like look at this. Look at all this. Look at this.
China, right? That invest in like overseas companies like Riot Games, right? That invest in like the company that made Nikkei.
Yeah.
They decided to buy more. Do you know what that means when an investor decides to buy
It's
more?
good.
That
It's
means
good.
That they believe in the product, and this is one of the companies that invest.
Let's take the word invest. What does invest mean? When you invest something in someone or invest something in another thing, it means that you're invested. You're invested. You're interested. You want it to do well. It's like, oh, I like this project. I'm going to invest in your project because I believe it has the potential to do well. I'm seeing something here that could make me more money. That could make profit. That could make success. So I'm going to invest in that for you. That's essentially what Tencent did.
In like some of the best performing games and franchises in the world. Path of Exile, right? Gearbox Games. And so if one of the biggest investment companies wants to buy more of your company after seeing the products you're releasing, if you're viewing this as a bad thing,
you're wrong.
That's crazy. The biggest investment company deciding to invest more in your company. That is called a vote of...
I didn't know it's one of the biggest investment companies out there, though. That's something that I didn't realize. Which also is another big win, if anything, for Kuro. Because like I said, don't own the majority of the shares, but if this company is investing in Kuro Games, it most likely means that they believe it's going to do well, and potentially it's going to do better now that they have a larger, bigger, stronger, and more supporting company that has the majority of the shares,
confidence. And we have people in here because the information being shown is just so incomplete, and they made it seem like they're wresting control. People are like, is this bad or good?
Yeah,
well, it's kind of neutral. They buy, invest, and let people do
nuclear, absolutely neutral. It is neutral. No, yes, that's what I mean. The fact that people are now going, but is it good or is it bad? Like, we don't know. Like, what's going on here? It's not bad at all, is it?
their own thing.
That says something.
There's no news of them actively interfering in development. And these are the people on the subreddit that are agreeing. And you know what the best part about all of this is? This guy over here, this is the person that made the post super gray. Previously, Tencent and Kuro Games. So they're gonna mention Kuro Games in the comments, but then they're not gonna put it in the opening post and just put from another investment company as the last sentence. This is the type of content that you see on r/gacha.
It is making it look like Tencent sort of cracked the whip, didn't they? Now that I'm yeah, it does a little bit.
Gaming. They make this inflammatory bullshit with like half the information, right? Half the context that just makes it that paints an entirely different story. And then they actually, you know, start putting stuff in the comments, right? Knowing that it's not going to get looked at. That people are just going to look at the opening post and draw conclusions from there. That is just what this subreddit is about. Basically, mislead people in the opening post and then cover your ass in the comments that you know people aren't going to read. That is like the modus operandi of this subreddit. That's the r/gacha gaming meta. Put some inflammatory
The r/gacha gaming meta.
Or is just
My God.
warping the actual fact of the matter completely in the opening post and in the title. Kuro Games is now a subsidiary of Tencent. People are speculating they lost a bet on agreement. And
Speculating.
and the first post is they acquired a 37% stake from the other shareholder. Seriously, what is this? And then the other post, now you mentioned here.
I've not seen Santontas like get so pissed off before. He's like, what is this? Ah, he's getting so vexed.
Games.
It's hilarious.
Saying that speculating they lost an agreement, but we're gonna put Kuro Games here now. It appears that all shares are acquired and transferred from Kuro Games, but Kuro lost a bet. And this is like literally, it was posted with this. It was 9 hours ago up here, and there were 9 hours ago up here with the edit 9 hours ago. I don't understand. Like, why are we just saying entirely different things in the comment that is made with the post and then in the actual opening post itself? How does this make any sense at all?
It doesn't really.
Right?
Yeah.
What is going on? Like, what is this, like, just rumor spreading that is promoted by the mod?
It is rumor spreading. It's not like, here's the thing. The first paragraph is like correct, like, right? And then the second and third paragraph is like just making you feel like, oh wow, okay, this is really bad for Kuro. And when it's one of those things where it's like, oh, Tencent bought the remaining shares from a mystery company. It's like, what did they just full on go in there and power struggle it? Like, what happened? Like, and then it's making us feel like, oh damn, what's gonna happen with Kuro Games now? Does this mean that is Wuthering Waves in trouble? Is Punishing Grey Raven in trouble? Like, is Kuro Games in trouble? Well, no, actually, it's not the case. It's not the case at all. It's actually either a neutral thing or a positive thing. There is no negative things about this. Now, if EA or Disney bought the rights, then that's a negative. But we're not. It's not.
They're even going ahead and they're just providing completely contradictory information in the sticky, but then they're leaving this thread up, right? You go to r/gacha gaming. Guess what, guys? It's the second post.
Oh dear.
It's the second post on the subreddit, and they do this every single time at every single opportunity for what.
Do they really do that all the time? That's kind of that's gonna leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But obviously, people are guessing are aware of r/gacha gaming, so.
Waves on this subreddit. They do it every single time. And guess what? Hey, there's a follow-up to the situation, right? We don't want to edit this post, but we'll make a follow-up post.
But
right?
why?
That won't get half as many upvotes.
Yeah, but why?
Because obviously, it clarifies the situation, right? This makes Kuro look like complete clowns that have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
That are completely clueless, like performing badly financially, and then Big Daddy Tencent has to come in and save them. Oh, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing for them. I don't know. Yeah.
Between external shareholders and has nothing to do with Kuro's management. Kuro will remain independent, similar to Riot Games and Supercell. 7 hours ago, 9 hours ago, and this.
They really clickbaited the post and then went,
now that people think that Kuro finished, now they're gonna believe everything we say. So maybe we'll do a follow-up post that not many people are gonna watch and read and listen to. That way, we're technically not in the wrong. But, you know,
it's like the kekeke, you know.
This one is still up. It is literally by the previous OP. Right?
Why don't they just edit the post and add that last bit of information here? They won't, but...
Opening poster just said, it's all bullshit. Oh, but by the way, breaking news. Kuro Games is a subsidiary.
Oh dear.
Follow up on the Kuro situation. It's so easy.
No, they had this information already. It was a tactical and strategic release. They had all the... So basically, they had all the information. The first post tells me that they used half of the information to basically give a summary on what's going on and not give the full story, and then they probably acted like, oh wait guys, no, we've got an update, when they probably had the full information all along, which again is kind of a bad thing for r/gacha gaming.
To see like what the agenda is on this subreddit, these mods despise Wuthering Waves. There is just no
that bad?
Other explanation for it, right? And then it's just amazing how every single comment is people who are confused. Kuro quite literally did nothing. This is an exchange between third-party shareholders, but this is the biggest post on the subreddit talking about it, right? Oh, by the way, the mods are gonna make like a slight adjustment about it, are gonna make a sticky post, but they're gonna leave this up, leave it open for comments, right? Leave people to keep speculating about the garbage, right? It's
about the garbage,
just speculation and bullshit.
They're leaving it up about the garbage, you know. Just leave the garbage, leave the trash. Take out the trash? No, we leave the trash here. The garbage stays. Yeah, it's like Kuro was just sitting like this. What's going on? Oh, Hero's been bought out. So Tencent owns just basically Hero's share. Okay. Oh, we're not the majority shareholder. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Are we still? Is our management still? Okay, can we still do what we want? We can. Okay, big investments, more money. Ah, it's a win.
But the guy went ahead and 2 hours later further clarified. This is the gacha gaming subreddit. Like, this is where these Hoyoshills, right? Let's just say Hoyoshills in this situation are getting their firing points against Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves.
Oh dear.
They are literally creating
I need more ammunition. r/gacha gaming. I got you, homie.
fan fiction that gets disproven
like, I need more bullets.
hours later by the guy that made the original post, but you keep this one up. And then you drown this one by giving it a shitty title that doesn't explain everything, right?
Ooh.
Follow up to the Kuro situation.
If anything, it should be correction of the Kuro situation, or a correction to the Kuro situation, not a follow-up, because it's not really a follow-up. You've kind of just gone, by the way, guys, this is actually what's going on. So it's a correction. It's a correction too, or just adds the information in your first post.
Breaking news: Kuro is now a subsidiary of Tencent. So, we've gotten into the whole situation, right?
Right.
Now if we go on Twitter, right? This is the translated version of a letter from Kuro Games.
Oh, I want to listen to this.
First of all, I will synchronize one thing with you. Recently, our two external shareholders, Tencent and Hero Mutual Entertainment, reached an equity transaction. After the completion of this transaction, Heroes Mutual Entertainment no longer holds shares in Kuro. Tencent became Kuro's only external shareholder. That is it. And believe me, I am 99% sure that this was released with the news, but this guy just decided, let's have some fun. Let's talk some shit. And instead of deleting this post or clarifying in this post, let's just make like a really vague...
I don't think r/gacha gaming knows what they've done. They've unleashed the beast. Sentontas is the gacha revenue slayer. He nuked and destroyed gacha revenue. So he's coming for you now. r/gacha gaming, you better run.
A follow-up to the situation, right? That basically just shows that it's all complete bullshit. And then we'll have people confused. People are just asking more questions. Oh, so Tencent did a hostile takeover? I don't know if this is good, bad, or worse. People are only asking these questions and basically
because they're confused.
Negative PR for no reason. Just because of the way that they worded this bullshit.
Yeah, like they don't know.
Hey, Hey, this subreddit, they just love farming negativity about Wuwa. That's quite literally the only reason why this post is up. It was disproven 2 hours later. 9 hours, like, just, this is the type of farming that they're trying to do in here.
Really?
That is all that they do.
I mean, I guess how they make their
just
money, right?
farm negative
That's
hate
how they
in
make
the
their money and their
subreddit
popularity,
because
so...
the people in this subreddit are fans of Hoyoverse games. But there is nothing for them to do in the Hoyoverse games, so they just spend all their free time on this subreddit, talking shit about other games. That's the only explanation I could think of. Because if you're busy playing and enjoying a game, you're not on here. Whatever losers.
Nah, I don't really give a shit. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm enjoying the game, so fuck it. Why would I give a shit? I don't care. Fuck it. Like, I don't care at all. I really don't care.
Subreddit this is just talking shit about other games. And you'll notice anybody that's talking shit here is going to have a post history that's probably just filled with Genshin subreddits. That's what's gonna happen 90% of the time. Let's just take one person for example. Oh, what do you mean? I thought we were all dumbasses when we spotted Wuwa failing and called Tencent getting majority. All right.
But yeah, this is kind of a shit deal.
0-0.
It's kind of shit because it's making clearly the majority of people. Now I don't use Reddit a lot. I dabble. If there's anything worth looking at, I'll look at it. But it just sounds to me that r/gacha gaming panders to other gacha communities instead of gacha communities like Kuro, and it's very misinformative, very misleading, and it tarnishes a lot of what is actually going on behind the scenes of Kuro Games. And a lot of the Hoyoshills, not the Hoyo fans, there's like I said, genuine Hoyo fans out there that are respectful, but Hoyoshills and the toxic side of the fan base, which unfortunately I believe is the majority of the fan base, is going to look at this and go, finally.
Absolutely. Yes, Kuro Games is finished 2.0. It's going to flop. It's not going to do well. See?
You know, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Let's check out the post history, man. I wonder where you participate in. Well, looks like your post got removed here.
Oh,
Genshin Impact leaks. All right, I'm not gonna look at those, but okay. Genshin Impact leaks and r/gacha gaming, and then we go into the Wuthering Waves subreddit to talk some shit about this fan fiction, right? This is the only time we post in the Wuwa subreddit. Every other time, it's r/gacha gaming talking more shit. Oh.
So a Wuthering Waves create what? Seriously? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. The fact everything I'm seeing here is r/gacha gaming, and the one time another person who is obviously a Wuthering Waves creator comes in here, or something, a representative of Wuthering Waves Reddit gets removed. They probably tried to put it into perspective, no, and r/ was like, no, we can't be having this. No. He's gonna put a spanner in the works. Like, why? There's no need for this.
Well, they called it. You are crazy. That's the thing, right? It's not that they called it. It's not that they called you crazy. You are crazy. Honkai Star Rail leaks. Oh boy. ZZZ. Firefly mains. Nikkei. He's a Coomer. Not surprising. Firefly mains. Honkai Star Rail. Gosh, he posts on the Wuthering Waves subreddit about once every blue moon. Once a blue moon he posts there. The rest of it, talking shit on r/gacha gaming. I'm telling you, these people, they don't play games. Because if you're enjoying games and actually playing them, you don't spend time just doing shit like this. Look at the OP's comments. Oh boy, Super Gray. All right,
Oh god.
A lot of Doom posting today.
Yep.
A lot of Doom. Huh. I wonder why there's a lot of Doom posting today. Oh, how could this have happened? How did this happen?
Oh dear.
All right, we got to see what the comment thread is. So, all in all, this betting arrangement is just hearsay spread by the gacha community over at Weibo, or China in general. Unfortunate that the thread discussion is now devolved to this particular line in your post, where it is the most unverified. Yeah.
Yeah, it's vague. It's ultra vague. It's not verified. It's not solid. It's not solid information. It's well, we think this is what's going on. Based on some of the information that we have, we think this is what's going on. We don't know, but we think this is what's going on based on the 40% of information that we have. The less than half amount of information that we have regarding this situation. No, or we have the 400%, but the first post we're going to do is like 30 to 40% of the information, and then we'll release the rest later. Just because we can.
It's a widespread rumor in Chinese gacha communities.
Yeah, so it's literally Chinese whispers. It's literally turned into it's not true. It's going to stir the pot. It's going to create controversy. It's going to create uncertainty. That's what these posts are doing, and I think that's what they're intending to do.
Again, and I couldn't find credible sources. Hey guys, this is where your Wuwa rumors are coming from. This is where all of Wuwa's negative PR comes from, guys.
Okay.
I couldn't find credible sources. Hey.
So the guy couldn't find credible sources, so he basically literally scavenged and found everything that he possibly could to make a post based on nothing, or just scraps of information that may be old or may be kind of tampered with or incorrect or tarnished, and then he goes, "That'll do." So it's a "that'll do" post. This is the information that I've got. It's not much, but it's like, you know, it's a nothing burger, as people say. I hate that saying, a nothing burger. I hate that saying, but that's exactly what this is. This post is that. It's just there for the vultures, the Hoyo vultures, to go, "I smell Kuro slender." You know?
Still here though. And so if you're out here either basically just admitting it's quite literally fan fiction, you can't edit the OP, delete the post then.
It's the fan fiction filler arc.
Lock it, right? Why is it the second item on the front page? Why is this the second item on the front page that everybody sees? This is crazy. How do you fuel this kind of hate towards a game, right? That literally only gets better every single patch. This is how much the gacha gaming mods hate Wuthering Waves. That the OP will literally be right here. By the way, guys, this was 8 hours ago, right?
Oh.
8 hours ago, 10 hours ago.
Oh.
This was made 2 hours after the post. It has been confirmed for 8 hours that this shit is entirely made up. For 8 hours, confirmed it has been made up, but they just let it breathe.
But why? Just take it down.
Okay, let's do it.
No, just take it down. Why is it that when they have something like that, just take it down? Just take it down.
Now, when you look at the type of...
There's no point in keeping it up and running. There's no point in keeping it up and running. If you found out that the information is hearsay or rumored or not entirely correct, and you finally have the correct information, then either edit the post if you can and just go, or just brackets corrected information, and just edit the post, re-edit the post, or delete the post and make a new one.
People that are commenting on these posts, you look at any person in here. Oh boy, what about the fans screaming about Kuro is fighting big bad greedy company called Hoyoshill?
True.
Oh boy.
Oh wow. Wow. Oh wow.
Let's see here.
What do we got
see,
here?
Let's see if we're gonna find a single post in the Wuthering Waves subreddit.
Yeah.
Gacha Gaming and Genshin Impact. That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Let's just see here. Let's just see here.
Oh
This
no.
is how much we hate Wuthering Waves. This was that one thread, right? This was that one thread. One comment, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Guys, we hate Wuthering Waves so much. We're gonna find the one post where people are talking shit about it, and we're gonna post in that thread 12 times. Do you have nothing better to do with your life than to talk shit about a game?
They've really pissed off Mr. Sentontas, sir. Mr. Sentontas, sir, are you angry at the situation? He's pissed. He's pissed. He's pissed. He loves this game. He loves Kuro. Okay, he loves it. He loves it. He's like the Darth Vader to Palpatine. Yeah, like, you know, Kuro is like the Emperor, like Palpatine. Then you got Darth Vader, and Darth Vader can't let that slander slide. He's like, I can't let that slide.
Game you quite literally don't play and make 12 posts about it.
He's the hitman to everything anti-Kuro, and it's great because it just gives me more content, and it's entertainment. And and Sentontas is a great guy, And a lot of the stuff that he talks about is behind, like, you know, I've spoken to Sentontas. When he talks about this stuff, he's passionate about this stuff. He's not doing this to cause drama. He's doing it because he's genuinely passionate and because it's genuinely bothering him and he thinks it's a genuine problem. So he does these videos to sort of just let people know this is not okay and here's why. So it's, you know,
On a subreddit.
I mean, his thumbnails can be a little bit misleading, but they're great.
That isn't even about
Because it gets him money and views and popularity. And I root for him every single day. I do.
the game.
He's a good guy.
That isn't even about your game, right? Genshin Impact. You posted 12 times.
Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Wow. Oh,
Fucking
you know what?
hell.
I'm beginning to realize this person all this person does is post on Reddit. They don't actually play the game.
Probably not.
This is diabolical.
No, what they do, they log into a new patch. They play the first hour of the patch. They close the game until the next patch, 6 weeks later. They play the patch. They log in. They play an hour every 6 weeks. They get a grasp of what the game has to offer, which in an hour you can't really. It's the same game. You can't really find anything. And then they make this. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Like,
You know,
guys,
or
guys,
fake information online.
I'm scrolling through this entire list. This is 13 days ago. 13 days ago. Guys, this is 13 days worth of posts.
Oh no. Oh no.
13 days ago.
Oh my god. How many posts can you make in
Guys.
13 days? It's like over 100 posts here.
You don't want to associate with people like this.
I'm probably not going to.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm probably not going to.
Right? They spend their free time just complaining about things, right? And not actually playing games.
They need to play the
If
game.
you're actually playing games, you don't have time to post this often. This is absolutely crazy. But these are the types of people that are just spending all of their time talking shit about the game. This is all they do. They
Okay,
don't-
so the remainder of this section is him, I guess, just looking at the comments and basically saying, these people are Hoyoshills, they're just slandering Kuro. What's the next part? The Woa subreddit? Let's go on this part. What happens here? Let's look at the Woa subreddit, because I think we get it. There's a lot of Hoyoshills in that subreddit, in that Reddit, so, yeah.
in the Wuwa subreddit itself is
Okay.
that it is getting heavily astroturfed. I think that's the word I'm going to use for it. Let me show you guys what the word astroturf means. It is
Okay.
the deceptive practice of presenting an orchestrated marketing or public relations campaign in the guise of unsolicited comments from members of the public. So what this basically means is that there are so many people in the Wuwa subreddit that whenever you see somebody talking about how the story is like bad, or the story needs massive criticism, or that Kuro really isn't doing anything good, all they're doing, these are just Hoyo players or Hoyo shills that basically their entire post history is just Hoyo games, and then they go on the Wuwa subreddit just
What?
to make pointless critiques, and then
Oh.
they upvote each other, and they make it look like
Oh.
those critiques are real. It happens
Oh.
all of the time.
Oh, I hate those people. Those people really do piss me off, to be fair. They really do.
On this subreddit, this is all they do, and it's
That does
awful.
piss me off.
That's why the subreddit mods just lock so much random shit on the Wuwa one. It's absolutely insane, guys. This is what I mean by the Wuwa subreddit getting astroturfed. This is who you have participating in every single discussion. They quite literally hate the game. The Wuwa subreddit is getting cursed right now by these people.
Yeah. Reddit is one of those people where Reddit is like the keyboard warriors playhouse. Like, you get keyboard warriors playhouse, and they just go in there, chat utter shit under a random name, log out, cackle to themselves, and then that's it. Like, I can't take this seriously. I can't take these fucking idiots seriously. The post I can take seriously, because yeah, if it's a huge gacha gaming subreddit or Reddit area, then it's going to influence a lot of people. But with these comments, they're just fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. You know, yeah, it's stupid. So what I'm getting from this is the astroturfing, which obviously means that they're disguising themselves as Wuthering Waves people, as Wuthering Waves people in the Wuthering Waves subreddit, and basically leaving fake reviews or fake critiques that don't really make, it isn't really a solid critique. It's more of a half criticism, or a not, it's not a weightful one. There's no weight to it. It's like, okay, that is literally nothing. Like that's some very minor inconvenience. That's not a problem in the game. But because they explain it in a way where it sounds like a problem, even though it realistically isn't, it counts as astroturfing because they're basically making something out of nothing and making Wuthering Waves look bad. That's what astroturfing is, and it looks like the Wuthering Waves subreddit is filled with these kind of people. Now, how to avoid shills?
Guys, this is why you need to, whenever you see a post talking shit about the game, click the user, right? You need to click the user and see what their post history is, because 99% of the time, it's gonna look like this. r/gacha gaming, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, ZZZ, whatever it is, a mix of the three, right? And they are just going to be talking as much shit as possible about everything possible, okay? Because they have nothing to do in their games. They don't find enjoyment in playing games anymore, and all they want to do is just talk about games instead. And it's pathetic, if we're frankly being honest. And so, overall, if there's a big takeaway from this subreddit right now is complete radioactive waste.
But it's got garbage. It's garbage, as you say, right? Garbage.
There are so many members of the Wuthering Waves subreddit community that are basically just Genshin Impact fanboys, or whatever, Hoyoverse fanboys to some degree, right? They're just going in, taking every single opportunity they can to talk shit about the game, to talk shit about the CCs, and then they get their buddies, right, from the subreddit as well to go upvote them, right, and make it look like the popular opinion. And my solution, mods of the Wuwa subreddit, just ban these guys. If half of their posts are getting removed, just ban them.
Literally.
Just ban them.
We
have enough posts.
That's it. That's literally just ban them. Right, what's this last little bit? Just ban these people, and don't take life too seriously.
Set with my Sensor Tower revenue video, right? You know, the one where I was talking about how, you know, it's kind of not the most accurate, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like a scam. I'll show you guys something incredibly funny. So, one of the big things that a lot of people have been talking about, right, is they look at this one post.
Okay, so he's talking about the gacha revenue report. I'll do a separate video on that. But there you go, guys. There you go. The subreddit of Wuthering Waves and r/gacha gaming is basically a load of doggy doo-doo, and don't take them too seriously, I guess. Because the posts they're putting up aren't, entirely accurate and are not entirely correct. They probably get half, 50% of the information or next to no information or scraps, and they put something together to make it look like it's something when it's actually nothing. But yeah, as for the comments part, that's just Reddit. Reddit is toxic. Reddit is a toxic place to be a lot of the time, especially if you're in a community that a larger community doesn't like. So for me, Reddit isn't exactly the place I would go, because I would praise Kuro. I would say how much I like Kuro Games, how much I like PGR, how much I like Wuthering Waves. I would go in there and probably say Black Beacon, it's something to do with Black Beacon, which I'm very much interested in. And then Hoya would be like, yeah, but we can't be having that, mate. So they'd shit on me for it. They'd shit on me, or there'll be a but. They'd be like, yeah, it's good, but Genshin's better. Or yeah, it's good, but HSR's better. Or it's good, but ZZZ is better. And they don't give good reasons. They just say it's better because it's better. But yeah, guys, that's the reaction for Sentontas's video. Go subscribe to Sentontas. The revenue, the butcher of Revenue Tower. He single-handedly took down the gacha revenue report. Sensor Tower has crumbled. It's lost one of its pillars. The pillar of gacha revenue has been dismantled, destroyed, and has crumbled to the ground because of the man, the myth, the absolute legend Sentontas. So yeah, I'll speak to you guys in a bit. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.